Jane Robinson, and I'm Pro Vice Chancellor for Engagement and Place at Newcastle University. I sit on the executive board and I lead the engagement and place strategy for the university. And really what that's about is trying to maximise the benefit that we can bring as a university through our education, our research, and also how we operate as a large organisation. Really interested in the way in which organisations can come together from a place-based perspective to benefit the communities that they serve. So I've worked in leadership roles in the cultural sector, in local government, and of course in higher education. And I think the opportunity at Newcastle, a university that's got a long tradition as a civic university, was something that was a really exciting opportunity for me. I think I'm right in saying that this role as Pro Vice Chancellor was the first in the country to have place explicitly in its title. So for me, it brings together the opportunity of all the things that I've learnt working both within and between different sectors to a university context. In these sorts of roles, a lot of it is about leadership beyond direct authority. It's working across different parts of the university, it's working across different partnerships, and your ability therefore to win hearts and minds, to get people focused on where the mutual benefit is and how we can work together for greater benefit is really, really important. So that's definitely one of the challenges that we face. I think the other thing is around how you can bring together the resources and the capacity that are needed for engagement activity. That's something that we've really thought about really carefully in Newcastle. We have a small central team, but actually what we work really hard at is how we can embed engagement across the university. It is really important that you have that sort of vision and leadership across the university. So for us here in Newcastle, the commitment of our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Chris Day, is really important to sort of set out the mission of the university. So he's very clear that as a university, we exist to benefit society. That follows through in terms of our wider strategies, whether that's about education or research or indeed how we operate as a university. So that leadership and commitment across the university is really important. I think it's also important to make sure that you are thinking about, I suppose, what the incentives are. So we've thought about ways in which we can coordinate all of our knowledge exchange and engagement funding. So we have created a group that coordinates that I chair, but allows us to sort of direct resources where it's needed. And of course, really thinking about policies, systems and approaches. So for example, we're recognising the contribution that colleagues are making, and events like our Engagement and Place Awards annually are an opportunity to recognise and celebrate that. And I think these are all things that really help to make sure that as a university we're set up in the best possible way to support engagement activities of all our colleagues and students. One of the things that I'm most proud of is the fact that as a university we've been able to secure the Gold Engage watermark. That was something that we worked very hard on, and we worked together as a team across the university. And I think what was important about that as well was that we were able to secure the gold watermark, but also to really think about what is it we need to put in place to continue to improve and build on that. And that has led to an integrated knowledge exchange and engagement action plan, which we're aligning to a lot of other activity in the university. So that has been something that we're really pleased about. Firstly, build coalitions of the willing and empower colleagues to really run with the things that give them joy, and I think that's something that makes a real difference. And also, I think to listen very carefully to colleagues internally, but also to our partners and our communities, because we can learn so much from them and their experiences. And I think that for many people there's a sort of sense of there's just limited bandwidth, and I think if you feel that engagement is an add-on, that then becomes really difficult. So trying to think about how do we position this activity as really adding value to and being integral to what we're doing from a research and education point of view really helps our colleagues around sort of seeing this as something that is benefiting both them but also society as well. I think it's really interesting when we talk about public engagement and we use different language, and a language evolves over time. We might talk about civic universities, public engagement, a whole range of different things. And to me, I think fundamentally it's about how, as a university, we can benefit society through our education and our research. There seems to be a real recognition and indeed expectation that universities are contributing and providing benefits economically and socially, and I think that creates great opportunities. So we shall have to wait and see how that transpires in the coming months and years. But my sense is that there is a growing recognition of that role of universities, and I think we see that in the development of things like the knowledge exchange framework and increased emphasis on impact through the research excellence framework as well. So yes, we will see. I think it's a very exciting space to be working in at the moment.